This will be second-ranked Alabama's first SEC road game of the season as the Crimson Tide travels to Fayetteville to take on 19th-ranked Arkansas. Coach Saban has never lost to the Razorbacks as the Crimson Tide head coach, as Alabama has won 15 in a row over Arkansas. The Razorbacks' last win over the Tide was an overtime victory in Fayetteville back in 2006. The Razorbacks gave the Crimson Tide a bit of a scare last season, with Alabama up 42-28. The Razorbacks scored a touchdown with just over a minute remaining, but the onside kick went out of bounds, and Alabama held on for the 42-35 win. Sam Pittman is in his third season as head coach of the Razorbacks. Pittman guided Arkansas to a 9-4 record last season, including an Outback Bowl victory over Penn State. This season, the Razorbacks are 3-1 and have been ranked as high as 10th. Arkansas's only loss of the season was last week's 23-21 loss to Texas A&M. Despite being up 14-0, the Razorbacks were outscored by the Aggies 23-7 to finish out the game. The turning point in the game was this fumble by K.J. Jefferson that was returned for a touchdown by the Aggies defense. On 1st and goal at the 3, Jefferson dove forward but lost the ball, and Texas A&M took it to the house for the score. A 14-point swing that led to the Razorbacks' first loss of the season. Despite that miscue, Jefferson has been one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC this season. Jefferson has completed almost 70% of his passes for 941 yards and 8 touchdowns with just 1 interception. The dual-threat QB is also 7th in the SEC in rushing, averaging over 68 yards per game with 4 rushing touchdowns, and had 105 yards and a touchdown on the ground in last week's matchup with Texas A&M. Arkansas's strength on offense has been their rushing attack. The Razorbacks are second in the SEC, averaging over 243 yards per game, led by the SEC's leading rusher, Raheem "Rocket" Sanders. The Rocket averages over 127 yards per game. But the Crimson Tide have been pretty good at stopping the run. Alabama leads the SEC in rushing defense, allowing just 62 yards per game. In fact, the Razorbacks may find it hard to move the ball at all, as the Tide is second in the nation in total defense and also leads the SEC in pass defense, allowing just 138 yards per game through the air. Defensively, the Razorbacks' strength has been up front. Arkansas leads the nation in sacks with 20. 4 of the top 10 in sacks in the SEC are Razorbacks, led by former Crimson Tide linebacker Drew Sanders, who moved from outside linebacker to inside this season. Sanders leads the nation with 5.5 sacks. As good as the Razorbacks' defense has been up front, they've been equally bad on the back end. Arkansas is 126 out of 131 teams in the nation in pass defense, allowing over 302 yards per game. Overall, the Razorbacks are 91st in total defense, giving up over 400 yards per game. Bryce Young, the Alabama offense, could have a big day. The Crimson Tide is 5th in the nation in scoring, averaging over 48 points, and 6th nationally in total offense at over 517 yards per game. The Crimson Tide is also 3rd in the nation in scoring defense, allowing just over 7 points per game. Alabama is the only team in the nation to be in the top 5 in both scoring offense and scoring defense. Kickoff is set for 2:30 on Saturday in Fayetteville. It will be Alabama's first game on CBS this season. Reporting from the Crimson Tide production studio inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, I'm Christopher England with Tide TV.